today on 2+U Nevada.
No matter what the accident is, if you do have a viable claim, you are entitled typically to both general and special damages.
As ski season inches closer, hard to believe with this weather, what you need to know about your legal rights, especially if you get injured on the mountain.
Okay, so of course we're most known for adoption, so dogs and cats. We help homeless pets in Northern Nevada, but we also have programs available to pet owners, whether you got your pet from us or not, in Northern Nevada.
And the SPCA does so much more than adopting animals. The amazing programs the organization puts on in order to keep animals in their homes when times are tough. Watching 2+U Nevada. Thank you for joining us for this edition of 2+U Nevada. I'm Sarah Johns, your host. Hope you're coming off a fantastic weekend. So here's a fun little story about reverting back to standard time. I thought that I was doing my part in helping out the household, and Saturday night before bed, I changed the clocks. It was super easy. I changed them from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Easy enough. Except the next morning, Dave had a mild panic attack. He had to work and thought he was massively late. Here's a hint. In the fall, we turn the clocks back. Yeah, I messed that up a little bit. But there's no sleeping in when you have kids anyway, right? We have a fantastic show on tap today. What is especially sweet? The story from Steve Hartman's Kindness 101. And really, when you're watching it, ask yourself, if I don't like someone's holiday decorations, do I really need to take the time to write them a nastygram? You never know what someone else is going through and what might help them make it through. We are thrilled to have you joining us today for 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. So excited to be joined by Nayla Garcia this afternoon. She is the volunteer manager of the SPCA in Northern Nevada. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I feel so privileged.
Oh. Well, we love the fact that you are here. We love the fact that you are Animal Rescue SPCA. Everybody knows who the SPCA is.
Good.
But right now is the time of year when people are starting to think about giving and charitable contributions. It's the giving season, and the SPCA is doing a fantastic job of focusing on who the SPCA is and the message of giving right now. Why is that?
Because it is Giving Tuesday. It starts on Saturday. November's here. Can you believe it?
Wait, what?
Where'd October go? So this Saturday, November 1st, we will begin our Giving Tuesday campaign, and we will start our mission of raising $130,000. That's our goal this year, which is $30,000 more than last November because times are tough and things are expensive. So we've got to make this money. But it's also because we have a $70,000 match this year when we usually only get $50,000. So those who are right now able to give have been like, well, take my money and make more money than you did last year. So it's an online fundraiser, which is a little bit different than, your in-person galas. But we found that they're the most impactful because people can help from the comfort of their own couches. Like you do not have to leave your home
in their pajamas.
In their pajamas.
In their pajamas. We've got a QR code for you. If you're in your pajamas right now, all comfy, cozy, or in your sweats or yoga pants. Trust me, I get the yoga pants.
Exactly. And so it makes it the easiest way. Like you don't have to be extroverted, introverted. Anyone can donate. It can be $5. It could be $50. It could be $500, whatever you're able to give. And so every Tuesday for Giving Tuesday, hence the name, Sydney, our marketing supervisor, will be posting videos of animals that we have helped. And so that's a part of the campaign so that when you're giving, you're not like, where's my money going? We're telling you exactly what your funding goes towards, how it helps pets in our community, but also pets that are already in loving homes. So the first video will drop November 4th, next Tuesday.
So give us a little preview, though.
Okay.
Give us a preview of all the content that you're going to be putting out through the month of November, talking about where is my money going. Yes, you will be dropping this information throughout the entire month of November, but tell folks at home what some of these programs are.
Yes. Okay. So of course we're most known for adoption. So dogs and cats. We help homeless pets in Northern Nevada, but we also have programs available to pet owners, whether you got your pet from us or not, in Northern Nevada. So we have a low-cost vaccine clinic every single Saturday and Sunday at our thrift store from 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's $20 for every single shot.
You're kidding.
Yes. Well, no, I'm not kidding. So we're able to keep it low cost, high quality, but affordable thanks to fundraisers like Giving Tuesday. So low-cost vaccines required by Washoe County, rabies. Make sure your pets are up to date on their rabies. But we also do low-cost spay and neuter. So that's also $130 for dogs, $50 for cats. I joke with some people because that's like Beyonce tickets to get into because we are the most affordable option in Northern Nevada, but we're trying our best to expand that. We have a voucher program on top of that so we can get local veterinarians to agree to do spay and neuters with our prices.
Wow, that's huge.
It
Because
is.
I'm sure the wait list is tremendously long.
It is, and we can't even take a wait list because it's too hard to manage because then someone's like, well, I actually was able to get into Options Veterinary Care, so you can take me off. So we just host that button once a month. Our team is tirelessly working to get as many humans in each month because the best way to keep pets out of our adoption centers like ours and prevent them from being homeless is preventing unwanted litters. So spay and neuter your pets. It's also best for their health and long term. So vaccine clinics, spay and neuter, but I'm not done yet. We also have Todd's Medical Fund. So that one came about in 2021, and it is literally a financial veterinary assistance program to help people who need help paying vet bills for emergency situations.
Because we all know that, I mean, people love their pets. Pets are their family members, but in tough times, people make decisions and sometimes the pets go without or are unable, or they have to surrender a pet because they can't afford the issue.
Exactly.
Whatever the medical is.
And that is a problem in our community that we were trying to solve. And so Todd's Medical Fund came around because of that. And so it can be anything from maybe a dental, like your pet has periodontitis and they're getting sick because their teeth are infected. So you can apply for Todd's to help pay for a dental as much as we can at the time. It also includes end of life. So like you mentioned, it takes a couple $100s to send our beloved pets over the Rainbow Bridge. And some people don't even have that. And so they unnecessarily watch their pet suffer. Or they have to relinquish them because they're like, maybe someone else can help this pet, but we don't want people to have to do that. So Todd's Medical Fund is another one, and we have a lot of people who donate specifically to that fund. But those programs, we have a Jackie's Community Cat, so if you have ferals in your community or in your company's neighborhood, for those warehouse workers, you can rent traps from us so that we can help get them a spay and neuter so your 5 neighborhood cats don't turn into 25. But our main programs are vaccine.
No idea.
We do so much behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So with all of this, the key message is the SPCA does far more than, and I don't want to use the word just, animal adoption, but you're there for the animals. And during the month of November and during giving season, there is a match. So for every dollar that you donate, somebody else is going to be matching that dollar. So it's bang for your buck.
Yes, double bang for your buck.
Where do people go?
So go to our website, spcanevada.org/donate. This link is already live, even though it doesn't start till Saturday. We figured, why wait? This is Scout. He will be our first, now Riley, but Scout will be our first video going out on Tuesday.
Perfect.
But you can visit our website at spcanevada.org/donate. You can donate online. And remember, $5 equates to 10. $50 equates to 100. So this is the time to give because, like you said, double your money.
So, Nayla, thank you so much. That website to donate, spcanevada.org/donate. You can see it there on your screen. You are watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. Excited to be joined by Joe and Regina Bradley of Bradley, Drendel, and Jeanney. Thank you both so much for being here. We have just had a robust conversation about how a case is valued. I find this fascinating. So first and foremost, give us the Cliff's Notes on how a case can be valued.
Well, you take a typical automobile rear-end collision, and somebody suffers from a whiplash. They go to urgent care. They maybe see get some chiropractic treatment or some physical therapy. The value of that case is going to be a function of what the medical community says about your injury, the amount of your medical bills, the recovery, and your prognosis for the future. Typically in that kind of a scenario, the person's going to recover, say, 98, 99%. And so the value of that case is going to have a somewhat limited value. You take a much more serious accident where a person suffers fractures, dislocations, requires surgeries, misses a great deal of work. That case is going to have a much higher value because there's more, the medical community and the other factors that go into evaluating a case, lost income, those tend to blow the value of the case up even more.
And Regina, you were saying there are two different types of value. Obviously, the value of the case that covers the medical expenses, but then also pain and suffering, or whatever that's called.
Correct. So those are your damages, and there's two different kinds of damages. There's special damages, and that would include your medical expenses, wage loss, anything that you can put a dollar amount to would encompass special damages. And then there's general damages, and that includes pain and suffering. And whether you are in that smaller accident that my dad described, if you sprained your ankle, you are still entitled to pain and suffering damages for being involved in the accident, just as you would be if you did suffer a fracture and required surgery. So no matter what the accident is, if you do have a viable claim, you are entitled typically to both general and special damages.
At what point is the person who is injured somewhat responsible for their own injury? I brought up skiing, for example. If a person is skiing and they fall down on the mountain, is the mountain responsible?
No. So there's a concept in the law of negligence in almost every state across the nation. It's called the concept of assumption of the risk. If you engage in an inherently dangerous activity that comes with some risk of injury, then you're responsible. You've accepted that risk, and if you get hurt, it's on you. Now, if the mountain creates a dangerous condition, or if another skier crashes into you because they're going too fast or skiing out of control, in the state of Nevada, then that other skier would be responsible. Or if the mountain, say, had a unexposed stake sticking out of the snow and you skied into it and hurt yourself, in Nevada, then the resort would be liable to you for your injuries and losses.
And I think it's very important that we highlight that you're saying in Nevada, because we have so many mountains that are both in Nevada and in California. The laws are different.
No question. People will call me and they will say that they've been injured in an accident at Heavenly Valley, where another skier ran into them or something along those lines. My first question is, were you on the Nevada side or the California side? California law on ski accident and sporting injuries is much less forgiving than the state of Nevada. If you're engaged in a sporting activity, you assume the risk of the harm that activity can bring. So California is different. Nevada is a little bit more lenient in terms of compensating injured people while engaged in a sporting activity.
So interesting, and it's so nuanced, which is why it is important to consult an attorney. Both of you were telling me when it comes to damages, yes, there are certain things that are written out and delineated when it comes to, let's say, your medical expenses, but a good attorney is going to get you more when it comes to the pain and suffering?
I believe that's accurate. The medical bills, the property damages, we can hold up a bill for that. Insurance carriers don't really have much of a problem when they know they're responsible for the accident of covering your medical as long as it's reasonable and necessary, repairing your automobile if your laptop gets broken in the accident, what the value of that was. Where an attorney really helps you is on the pain and suffering side. That's more esoteric. Pain, suffering, anxiety, inconvenience, loss of enjoyment of life. Those are the elements of the general damage where a skilled attorney can put that together and can quantify that either with an insurance adjuster, with a defense lawyer, or ultimately with a jury.
Okay, Joe, Regina, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. If anyone has any questions for you, Regina, where should they go?
You can call us at 775-335-9999.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. watching 2+U Nevada, and I'm so excited to have Valeria Koss, the executive director, and Tessa Peretti, the program coordinator of RennerVation Foundation. And of course, this foundation has a very popular founder here locally. Jeremy Renner started up the RennerVation Foundation. But you guys do so much for the children and youth of Nevada. So first, Valeria, you've really grown this foundation since you started earlier this year. Talk about your growth of the RennerVation Foundation in this calendar year.
So honestly, yes, we have an incredible founder, Jeremy Renner, and our co-founder, Kim Renner, who is his sister and a deputy director in Los Angeles County in child welfare. So honestly, in the past year, we have grown our team, we've grown our programs, and it's because there is such a significant need. And the best part is, at the heart of everything we do with the RennerVation Foundation is collaboration. So we get to embrace every community organization to really ensure that we are able to provide services and support to our foster and at-risk youth throughout the entire state of Nevada.
It really is cool to see all the new programs that you're adding to, Tessa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Pave Your Way program is the one that I coordinate, and I get to do case management for it as well. So I work with anywhere between ages 16 to 24 in foster care, whether they've aged out, they're actively in care, to provide them case management support, education and career support, finding apprenticeships, jobs, so many different things, especially aging out of the system. There's not much support out there for them that people might think that there is. So we, especially for Pave Your Way, we love to step in and be that support. And then last week we just launched the housing portion of it. So we were able to get 4 of my kiddos on my caseload, well, young adults on my caseload, into their own 1-bedroom apartments, which was super cool.
Oh, that's gotta feel so fantastic for you to see these clients or these kids that you're helping, grow up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was super. It was very emotional, heartwarming, really fun thing that we got to do. And it's really cool to now see them. I get to see them every week and work with them on all their other stuff, but to see them even in the small time that they've been in their apartments already, watching that growth is really awesome.
And Valeria, breaking down the numbers, can you tell us how many Washoe County foster youth you help, and then statewide?
So honestly, we serve hundreds in Washoe County alone. Christmas on the Comstock is a great example. We are anticipating serving at least 400 youth and teens in that one event, which doesn't even begin to encompass all of our other programs like Pave Your Way and our camps. And so honestly, throughout the state, we can serve over 1,000 because we also have events that are happening in Clark County, and we reach out to the rural community because we want to make sure that every youth and teen that has lived experience in foster care knows that the RennerVation Foundation and our collaborative partners are here to offer community and a sense of support.
And really delve deeper into that community and sense of support, because I think people at home will hear RennerVation Foundation helping foster youth. But you're doing so much more than that. You're educating them, you're supporting them, you're providing. So give me some nitty gritty.
Oh, I love to get down to the nitty gritty. So let's talk about that, especially the collaborative partner piece. This work is too big to do alone. And so we have such incredible partners, everyone from Truckee Meadows Community College to University of Nevada, Reno. They are there every step of the way. Washoe County School District, as well as boosted diplomas to help if they need tutoring and after-school support. Then we just continue to expand and grow, because when there's a need identified, it doesn't mean that we necessarily need to do all of the things all of the time. We have the right partners to go out to. If you look at our Pave Your Way program, so we have scattered site model, and those are 4 apartments that have their own address, and they're scattered across some beautiful parts of Reno. But the Eddy House is another phenomenal partner where they have their 36-unit transitional housing, because we understand that some of our clients are not ready to be fully independent. So that's what I mean when we're doing collaborative partnership work. No one should feel like it should just be their name. It should be all of us together, working together.
I love this. And what I also really love is it seems like a lot of the foster youth who are older foster youth get overlooked and are underserved.
Yeah.
And so you are helping those older foster youth learn life skills and provide them the community that they might otherwise be lacking.
Yeah, they when they age out of the system at 18 years old, they typically are out on their own, which even if you have an upbringing where you have a lot of support and you have everything that you need, when you're 18 years old, it's really unfair to have anybody, to expect anyone to have everything figured out. I know I definitely didn't have it figured out when I was 18, and I had an amazing family that supported me. So we really love, very passionate about stepping in to be that help to fill that gap that there is in the community.
So for anyone who wants to help the RennerVation Foundation and help the foster youth in Nevada, where do they go? How do they get a hold of you?
So honestly, you can go to our website, RennerVationFoundation.org. Yes, it's a mouthful. So we'll make sure to share more information on that. And honestly, to be able to continue to do these programs and services, being able to have donors that want to step up, and you can give where you're at. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars unless you're in a place to do that. It can be a simple $10 to $15 donation. And that makes such a huge impact in the services that we can continue to provide.
Ladies, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I'm so excited to have Sarah Gobshill here, Executive Director of Education Alliance of Washoe County. Thank you so much for being here, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having us.
So for folks at home, explain what the Ed Alliance does.
Okay, so I always tell people that we know our community wants to get involved with the schools, and we're the organization to be able to help people to do that. So we help to bring in, sort of resources that may improve students' lives, help our local businesses connect where they can, if they want to help enhance education, and just the individual who's like, I really care about education. What can I do? We're the organization to connect with and to use those resources to benefit students in schools.
The Education Alliance has really been there for the Washoe County School District, whether it be, you were just telling me about the mural that went in at AACT, and you helped establish funding for that, right?
Yeah, that's right. And so credit where credit is due. The Gillamont Foundation is who made that possible at AACT, but it was through a partnership and collaboration with Education Alliance and the district. And it was really amazing yesterday just to see, we got to see a local Washoe County School District graduate who was the artist, do an assembly and talk with all of these students about how she used to be in their place. She really leaned into her education and then was able to make that possible. And so it was a really cool
I absolutely love that. And so in the collaborative spirit, you also really work with the district on issues affecting our local schools. And one of the key issues that we're seeing right now, and I hear a lot about it at my kids' elementary school, but chronic absenteeism is something that we as families really need to be paying attention to.
Yeah, and so chronic absenteeism is a perfect example of a really complex educational issue that I believe impacts every single person living in our community. And like I was telling you, it's really defined by students who are missing, 18 days or more of the school year. And we know that students can't be successful if they're not in school. It's really hard to learn when you're not there. And so that's a main reason that we want to make sure that students are in school because they can learn and then they can connect to their friends and teachers who are in the classroom, which is why it's been such a big focus. It really jumped up after the pandemic. We saw really high rates, which was the same as districts across the nation. And so luckily our leadership and people in the community, again, really leaned in and was like, we want to build awareness around this. And we really want to help people get students back in the classroom.
Right. And for those at home who are saying, well, my kids attend school, it's fine. My kids are fine. Talk about the domino effect of chronic absenteeism. Okay, so your kids may be going to school, great, but it still affects everybody in the community.
Yeah, it really does. And one of the things I always want people to know about chronic absenteeism is many times it's not students' choice that they're going. There's other factors that are really complex, like maybe it's housing or food instability. We have, some families
that, are trying to do their best to get their kiddos there, but there can be complex pieces. I would say even for families, like your family, if like when kids are absent, even if, they're sick or they're doing these other things, they can fall behind in their subject matter. And in particular, it's really hard for English and math, and those things build upon each other as you're going through school. So coming to school is just really important, and that's the reason that we want students to be there. And I think I was sharing with you we have been really working with middle schools and the middle school initiatives, but we are seeing traction being made. And I really believe that is because of, organizations like yours, other nonprofits, and the district working to really elevate this to a community-wide issue and talking about it and helping families make the decision to get their kids there, more often than not.
And what is it since the pandemic? Obviously, it's been top of mind. I've been hearing about it, getting the weekly emails from our principal saying, make sure that your kids are going to school. Mm-hmm. But post-pandemic, what is it that has gotten us out of or seeing the light with chronic absenteeism?
So I would say some of the biggest things that we saw last year, and we've really been working in this space, I would say for about almost 2 years, really trying to build awareness into those things. But we saw an expansion of clubs and sports in the district, and that was making a huge difference. Like there's just more ways for students to feel connected and belonging. We realized a lot of parents didn't realize there was an issue. Like, what's the big deal if I take my kids out for a couple of days of school? And so we really building that awareness has had a huge impact. And then just also talking with students about, what does this mean for your future? Like, if you're not in school, what could that mean for your future self? And I'm really happy to share that the district has seen like 71% of schools make an improvement in attendance and reduce their chronic absenteeism rate. And I think that's because, people like your principal who are like, I'm going to tell these teachers, or I tell my teachers and their parents so that people know.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Sarah, thank you so much for being here. We're going to invite you back for any other education tips or issues that families need to be aware of. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to get involved with the Education Alliance, what website do they go to? How do they get a hold of you?
Okay, so I would tell you, if you're interested and passionate about public education, please visit our website. It's ed-alliance.org, edalliance.org.
Perfect. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and we are here at Peavine Fine Wine and Spirits. So excited that you guys are open in this new location here in the Bonanza Casino strip mall in that shopping center. And it has been a long time coming. You're a family-run business. Your 5th location now. Yes. All right, I'm here with Bridge and Madhu. And Bridge, you've been in our community decades and giving back to our community. Talk to me how you even got into the liquor business, and then we'll get into what you're doing for our community outside of the business.
A little bit about myself. I moved in Reno in 2001. I started the job on the liquor store, and I was managing the store. And in 2010, I started my business. Today I'm very happy. This is the great location, the Peavine Fine Wine and Spirit. This is our family business. I am very thankful to my community and my neighborhoods. They came and support us. I'm thankful to you guys, and you came over here.
I'm so thankful to be here too, Bridge. Yeah. And I love your story because it is the true American dream story, right? You move here and you manage a liquor store, and then you're owning your own liquor store just 9 years later. And now here your son, Madhu, you are here carrying on this tradition. How proud of you are you of your dad?
Absolutely. Growing up, I saw my dad in this business. He was just a clerk at a liquor store. So I grew up in that environment. So, his dream was always to get into this business and have his own liquor store at one point. And he worked really hard. He saved some money and, brought his first liquor store, as he said. And then I because I got brought up in that environment, I also was kind of enthusiastic about it. So I started, supporting him, going to a store with him as I turned of age. I was still in college back then when he got his first liquor store.
very popular in college.
So yeah, we couldn't drink at the time, but as I turned 21, I was able to finally put myself into it full time. And here we are, this is our 5th location, as my dad said. So we have been just working really hard. We have my whole family, my brother-in-law, my dad, we have put in a ton of hard work in getting this renovated. And we are bringing a ton of selection. Our focus is really more on the quality versus the quantity. I mean, obviously, we're going to have a ton of selections. So please stop by and check it out. Yeah.
So Madhu, you've got to also be very proud of your dad. I love that this is a family-run business. I love what you have done in this community. But talk to me about how much your dad gives back to the community too. In fact, being published in the Reno News and Review, an article, Blood Brother, because you give blood so much. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so that is just how he is. Even growing up, when I was so little, I was like 10 years old, I remember him being part of a Rotary International Club, which is a social service club that basically goes and helps the people in need. He has not only donated blood, as he said, he has also helped some of the poor families in getting education. And then when he moved here, he continued to follow that tradition. He did a lot of blood donation here in Reno, and as he said, he got a news article about him in 2010, I believe. And yeah, he is called the Blood Brother because he has donated blood so many times. So it's been awesome.
Let's talk about the local spirits that you have here in the store.
Yes, so absolutely. We have a ton of curated spirits, craft beers that are local. We have a ton of huge variety of local spirits. We are a small business, so we support all the other small businesses. That is going to be our focus. And yeah, so we have a ton of those here.
With the local spirits that you have, there are so many here. Kind of name off some of the local spirits.
Sure. So some of the ones we have are the Frey Ranch from Fallen, and then we have the Minden Mill bourbon from Minden, and then we have NV36, which is a Reno-made bourbon.
And Bridge, you showed us this amazing bottle. Do we even want to go there? Like, you've got some unique high-value spirits here as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so talk to me about those high-value spirits, something that someone like me doesn't even know, like how cool they are.
We have the entire Weller lineups. We have some E.S. Taylor lineups, and we're getting a ton more. But the way we're different about those is people charge a lot of secondary pricings for those, and our focus is really going to be to draw them in a raffle every month. So we'll pick 4 or 5 bourbons, allocated ones, and even some tequilas, allocated ones, and we'll draw them in a raffle. We're also starting our exclusive bourbon spirits club, Peavine Spirits, and we are going to have some members associated with it. And then we basically, to participate into the raffle, you make a purchase for that month of a certain amount. Yes. And then after that, we'll be doing the drawings for those, and we'll be giving them a chance to be sold at a retail price.
Fantastic. I love your location too, located on Old North Virginia Street in the Bonanza Casino Shopping Center. Very convenient for tailgating season. I'm just going to throw that out there because you're just north of the university. And gentlemen, thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. Welcome back. Now to our series Kindness 101, where Steve Hartman and his children share stories built around kindness and character, and the people who've mastered those qualities. Today's lesson is all about what it means to be neighborly. We revisit the story of Bill Piles and Tammy Wyhe and how Bill's elaborate Halloween displays led to a special friendship.
This is Merrill.
And this is our lesson on what it means to be neighborly.
And for a definition, we go to our neighbor across the room, Emmett.
Hi. I'm defining being neighborly as being kind and considerate to others in your community.
And what might a good neighbor do?
Loan you a cup of sugar.
Maybe watch your dog?
Good.
Tell you if your kids are having wild parties while you're away.
You remember that one.
Okay.
But what do good neighbors do today specifically?
Give out candy.
That's right. Halloween is neighbors at their best, which is why I thought this would be a good time to revisit a story I did about a guy who loves sharing Halloween joy with his neighbors. And although it starts out a little scary, by the end, you'll see Joining us now, Bill Piles. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Have you stayed in touch with Tammy?
Yes, we talk. We still talk at least once a week.
I assume your decorations are back up?
Yes, they are. We've got a record number of skeletons out there this year.
Like world record?
I don't know if it's a world record, but it's definitely a record for my area. We have almost 70, and we change the display on a weekly basis. They stay up all year long now.
How's the mail?
About 45-1 of love it, don't stop it.
That's got to feel good.
It feels really good when the neighbors come over, you're starting to change things up, and they're in a panic that you're taking things down.
Really?
Yes.
Generally speaking, what can people do to be better neighbors?
First off, talk to your neighbors. New person moves in, introduce yourself to them. And be that neighbor that says, hey, if you ever need anything, give me a call, and be the guy that shows up when they make that call.
That's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you giving us the time.
Thanks for having me on here.
Neighbors aren't friends or family, but they do look out for us all the same. And it's important to appreciate them, especially when they hand out those giant candy bars.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you next time.
And don't forget to stay kind.
Again, we will bring you these Kindness 101 stories in future editions of 2+U Nevada. Are you a business or nonprofit and want to be featured on 2+U Nevada? Have a Mom to Mom Monday, a Tried It Tuesday, or even a cute pic you just want to show us? The whole point of 2+U Nevada is the plus you. You can send us your content by visiting our website. Head to 2news.com and click on 2+U Nevada. Or you can email us at 2+UNevada@ktvn.com. Each day here at 2+U Nevada, we are hoping for you to participate in our show. That's the plus you part. With that, today we are continuing our Mom to Mom Mondays. This is really for any family member needing that tidbit of advice. You may remember, for the past couple of weeks, I've asked for advice from grandparents as well as parents. We want advice to all generations, from all generations, based on wisdom, which is why we say a sincere thank you to this week's mom and grandma, Linda.
My mom to mom is let your kids grow. Let your children grow up and do what they love doing. Support them, mentor them, lift them, be in front of them, be behind them, be beside them. They don't need to know. Just let them grow and be the person that's always there that nobody ever sees to make sure that the kids are doing exactly what they want and love. And I would say the most important thing is enjoy life and give back to your communities.
And what a fantastic note to end our broadcast on today. Thank you for inviting us into your home this afternoon. We look forward to joining you every weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada. 2 News Nevada at 4 starts now.